Welcome everybody to the Fighter Share Report. It is Sunday, 11:30. You know you're in the place to be. I'm Brew. This is the Badger. What's going on, bro?
Hey man, another day of football. Guess that's all we got going right now. It's a little chilly outside, but we here. Sunday, at the end of this week, we're getting ready to roll into a new week, but we gotta be on our best behavior because this is the platform for that.
Right. Look, the Red Belly came over yesterday to watch the Ravens game, and I realized things don't go well with my teams when he's around. That snap
Okay.
over the quarterback's head from Pouncey to Roethlisberger, and then you look yesterday, and there were several snaps over Lamar Jackson's head, and this hadn't happened all season. I'm convinced it's because the red belly was around. So he's been banned from my house when the Ravens or the Steelers are on. He can't. I can't be in his presence because things just happen, bro. They just happen.
The better team won. Better team.
We see the work that you put in. We see you training. We know the effort that it takes. We see your sacrifice. We know fighters, and we are the show that the fighters watch. Welcome to the Fighters Share Report.
I ain't gonna say the better team won, but congratulations to the Buffalo Bills.
Nobody
Congratulations.
circles the wagon
Like
like
the
the Buffalo
freaking
Bills.
Buffalo Bills. Nobody wanted that game in the first half. If you look at all them field goals that were made. Anyways, let's get into combat sports. Listen, Max blessed Kadar real good. I don't know if you caught the fight, but Max looked like a young Roy Jones Jr. or Prince Nassim Hamed versus Calvin Cater. And then in the middle of the was it the fourth round or the fifth round, he's talking to Cater's camp saying, "I'm the best boxer in MMA." It's just like,
Mm.
dude, that thing could have been stopped in the second round. He hit him with so many
Um,
elbows, his elbows were getting tired.
yeah, he split him open a couple times with those elbows, but I tell you what. Um, for as great as a performance as that was, and again, the UFC is the big winner in all this. I can't help but wonder what Max Holloway is feeling this morning because he beat a guy that a lot of people, including myself, thought would push him, to that next level. And really, what it did is it showed the massive talent gap between Calvin Kattar and Max Bless Holloway. I didn't see that coming. I thought Kattar was going to be a little bit more deliberate, and he was trying to be. But I just didn't. I didn't see him being outboxed. I thought Cater's boxing was a little bit better because it's a little more traditional. But yeah, what I saw from Holloway, man, and Cater couldn't even take the fight to the ground because I mean he was eating jabs and straight rights, man. I mean he was just hitting them and looping them and under. It was almost like a rock'em sock'em robots. And you're right, the punishment he was taking, not just from elbows, but then them body shots. He got hit with
Yes,
several body shots,
yes.
man. So I mean, great performance from Max Holloway, I guess. Calvin Cater's who we thought he was. He's just a B level fighter, I guess.
But then again, you think Max was the best in that division for how long?
Years.
Right. So, he had one bad fight recently, lost his title, and you feel like, oh, really? How bad is Max? Well, Max looks like he's back to being Max. Good morning, sunshine. Max looks like he's back to being Max Blessed Holloway, the guy that we were used to seeing fight.
Yeah, and like I said, I was impressed because I think it takes a certain amount of just confidence that even though you've been beaten, what is his record his last 4 or 5 fights? Isn't he like 3-2 or no 2-3 or like
Something
one
like
and three? Like yeah, he lost to Volkanovski twice. I think he ended
yeah,
up losing. Yeah, so he hasn't been trending in the right direction. We can make we can talk about the Volkanovski rematch and what we thought about that, but it's 2 losses, right? So for someone that's been on top as long as he has to be beaten twice, it takes a certain amount of confidence to say, you know what, I'm still that guy. And he went out and he fought like that guy.
he showed
And
it.
for me, yeah, and for me, like I said, I expected a little bit more from Calvin Cater, but that's not to slight Calvin Cater. That version of Max Holloway fighting that way would probably beat everybody in that division, including probably Volkanovski, if he's able to make it more of a striking match instead of getting them legs chopped down like he did.
Yeah, yeah. And that to me is something that Cater went away from. Even when he had Max's leg red, he
Right,
he did not keep it up because Max would give him one back or check it or give him or return the favor, and Max was able to say, okay, I'm gonna punch you in your body and your face so much you're gonna forget about kicking me in my legs, and
right.
I mean, let's look at the scores. When I heard the scores, I was like, this is incredible. Max won 50-43 by two judges and 50-42 by another one. That means one of these judges gave him 2 point round or 10-8 rounds in
Twice.
every round.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Well, I mean, yeah, that's ridiculous.
I just, but it just shows the clear and utter domination of the fight. I mean,
Yeah, and look, and if you Dana White and UFC happy about this because now you can sell him and say he's back and try to get another rematch. I don't know. We're gonna see, but at the end of the day, good win for Max Best Holloway. He did it the blessed way. So we'll see what's next one.
yeah, well, yeah, you're right. All right, so UFC Fight Island 8 comes up on Wednesday. This is crazy. It's on the 20th, which is Wednesday,
Right.
the same day as the inauguration
Mm.
at noon.
Wait, what?
Noon. Prelims
Wait. So you
start at
mean?
9 a.m.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I
they're
guess
not
yeah. Fight
recording it and
Island.
holding it like they did before. They're sure you can't tell me that this isn't political. Keep in mind, Dana White and Trump really good friends. So
Yeah. I mean, it definitely makes you scratch your head, man. But
it's on ESPN Plus at noon on inauguration day.
yeah,
They don't care about the numbers. They just care about running interference as much as possible. But that's okay. There's really only one fight on here that I really said I would like to watch, and that's Neil Magny versus Michael Chiesa. That's the main event.
yeah. And did we get this wrong? I want to think that Neil Magny was supposed to be fighting Shemaev. Is that my fantasy fight, or is that what really was supposed to happen?
No,
Because I thought
I
he
thought
was
that's what
going
was
to get
supposed to happen.
Shemaev.
Yeah,
Right now, he's getting Michael Chisea. Um,
Chiesa.
I mean Chiesa, how do you pronounce it? My bad. I'm interested, man. I'm interested. I mean, it's going to be a good. I mean, there hasn't been a fight that either one of these dudes have been that they don't like.
Right,
Right? Both of
right.
these guys are action. I mean, they're coming for it. They're deliberate. They're going to be intentional. It's going to be a good fight on a Wednesday at noon. I don't know what the ratings are going to look like, but hey, if I had to pick a fight to watch Wednesday at noon, why not this one? This is just as good as any, right? And I'm probably going to be pleasantly surprised. So, aside from all other things that we've just kind of mentioned in lieu of having this conversation, um, yeah, I mean, for the fight fans, for the UFC, I mean, this is okay.
I wonder though. I wonder if this is gonna be a better fight than the one in the Capitol coming up this Wednesday because it's gonna be
I don't.
interesting.
I see. Yeah, let's not feed that narrative, man. That's yeah.
Well, you also have Douglas Silva and DeAndre versus Lerone Murphy. I'm trying to remember. I know we've seen Lerone Murphy fight during this pandemic.
Yes, we have. I mean, we could just pull it up and just see when his last fight was. But yes, I want to say, or am I getting me confused with Laura Murphy? right?
Possibly, possibly.
Yeah, I think we might because she was fighting out of man. What gym was she? Was she fighting out of the gym with No, no, I'm getting them mixed up. She's not out of Jackson Wink. She's not out of that. But anyway, yeah. So I think we may be getting him confused with Lauren Murphy. I would think. Um, but yeah, on a Wednesday, you're not exactly going to fill your card up with a bunch of people that you got to pay a lot of money to, right? Because
Right.
the ratings just won't be there. So I mean, a lot of these people we've never heard of, or we haven't done a lot of thorough research on them, so we won't know too much. But any other names that we recognize? You think?
Um, not really. Not really. Honestly, that Magni fight is the big fight on that card. You also have Worley Alves versus Munir Lazaz. Ike Villanueva versus Vinicius Moreira.
It's okay. You don't have to keep trying to pronounce those names, bro. It's fine. Nobody we recognize, so we don't have a lot of information on this. But they should still make for good fights. I'll be
Oh,
interested to watch them and see what's going on.
there is a women's fight on here. Roxanne Modafferi versus Vivian
Okay.
Arroyo. Don't
Okay.
remember
I'm
that
not
fight.
familiar with Vivian, but I'm familiar with the first woman you just named. I've seen her
Roxanne.
fight before as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, I mean,
It's
yeah, man. I mean, it's a Wednesday, guys. Okay, so just tune in and watch if you don't want to watch the inauguration for whatever it's worth. I mean, it's not going to change what's going to happen. But if you don't want to watch, you don't have to.
right.
There's a fight on.
That's
Indulge
insane.
yourself.
That is
Indulge yourself.
insane. You've never seen the UFC do this. That is just
Nobody does
insane.
anything like this. 2021.
Anyways, meanwhile, Uncle Dana meets with Khabib. I don't know if you saw the interview with Dana White during the show. I just thought it was interesting and it was very poorly scripted, but we'll see. Dana White made the statement that Khabib Nurmagomedov met with him and said, "Hey, pending how these, um, they would be considered middle, no, not middleweights. They would be lightweights in Khabib's division.
155, yes.
Yes, how the lightweights Poirier, McGregor, and then Michael Chandler and his opponent, how well they fight would determine whether he wants to come back and fight one of them or just turn the belt in. Because he said he doesn't want to hold up the division. And I'm looking at this going, is this really something you took time to put out over over your AB? But then again, they were on ABC. They had an audience that
This
they
is a good
didn't have.
opportunity. Yeah, this is a good
Yeah,
opportunity. Yep.
but to me,
Um,
that takes away from your legacy if you're Khabib and that really happened.
yeah, and that's what I was about to say. I mean, we talked about this on a few different occasions, and I think we both have come to the same conclusion that we feel like Khabib is a man of principle and a man of integrity, and a man that will stick to his word. I'm not sure how this makes sense because none of these guys are worthy of a Khabib fight. So I don't understand where he goes. No one really wants to see him fight Dustin Poirier. We really don't. Let's see how Poirier looks against McGregor first.
And
We
we've
definitely don't want to see him against McGregor again. That we know that's going to end up much worse. And then Michael Chandler. I mean, let's see how he deals with his opponent first. I don't. I don't know how I feel about any of this. It doesn't really make sense. I understand Dana's perspective. I
money.
don't know if I believe that Khabib, but yeah, obviously that's the only thing that matters. But I don't understand Khabib's perspective. I'm not sure his mom is still around. So based on what he said, I'm not sure how this changes what he should be doing. I don't understand.
Dana made the statement as if Khabib made a very emotional decision and a very emotional time in his life. But you don't, even when you make an emotional decision, you don't come out and say, I promised my mom that I would retire after this fight and then come back. Because, like you said, if integrity is what people know you for, now you're kicking integrity in the crotch. Hey, I promised my mom I wouldn't fight anymore. I'm breaking that promise. I'm coming back. I mean, the man has enough money. I mean, he's got princes and kings who, who really admire him and look out for him. So I don't think it's a question of he's coming back because he needs the money or he needs the glory, because he's still considered around the world one of the best to do it, if not the best of his time. To hold a belt in MMA. I don't see what Dana could offer him or what he's missing from the sport.
To me it's a hard. It seems as if it doesn't seem very genuine. It seems almost like you said scripted. I don't really. I just don't understand. Maybe it's because they had an audience. Maybe he feels like if I can get Khabib to come back one more time for a fight, and I gotta put it in Abu Dhabi where I can get fans. But I don't. That don't even make sense. They've been doing it so long without it. And they've been doing fine. I don't. Trying to cut the dots here just don't make any sense.
It,
I'm just
it,
gonna say that I hope, and this is gonna sound pretty bad coming from someone that's an avid fight fan like I am, but I'm almost hoping he sticks to his word, man.
Me too, because the story didn't make sense to me. I'm doing well. I'm not missing the fight game, but I don't want to hold the division up. And if these guys really show something next week, then I would be inclined to come back and fight. What does it matter how good they look next week as to when? That sounds like something Dana came up with Sean Shelby just sitting in the back going, maybe we can antagonize Khabib to come back. Either way, yeah, I said it. Your 2 minutes.
Well, I got 2 minutes to try to fill this slot. I actually submitted in 50 seconds now, so I'm gonna do the best that I can. I was going to go ahead and talk about something that my partner would be interested in, right? WrestleMania coming back to Tampa in April. It's going to be a 2 night event. This is great for the city, right? Everybody's excited and happy, but I'm not because I'm not understanding what's going on, right? We're in the middle of a pandemic where we're supposed to be taking care of each other, looking out for each other. But guess what? We're gonna have a Super Bowl here in 2 weeks. What's gonna happen then? And are they wrong for trying to conduct business as usual? Here's something I've been thinking about over the past couple of days before I even had this idea to talk about the social gatherings here in my city. Are we fighting the same enemy? When we look at what's going on with the far right and we look at what's going on with the people on the left, are we not fighting the same enemy? Like all this seems to be like a puppeteer or a puppet master, and we're just all little puppets, just dangling and moving around because 1 minute we afraid, the next minute we scared, the next minute we don't give a damn. And frankly, it's kind of exhausting. I'm sitting here trying to enjoy football, but there are no fans in the stands. Stadiums are at a quarter capacity. It almost makes this feel like a movie, like the Truman Show. Like, is there somebody really scripting all this out and we just playing it out? Because I can tell you one thing, sports is not the same. I want to be excited about KD and James Harden, but for what? Who's watching it? So what we gonna do? We got the Super Bowl here in a couple of weeks, WrestleMania coming. Are we kicking COVID to the curb? We gonna get the injection, or are we gonna watch it on TV with 50 people in the stands? I don't know, man. But that's pretty much all I got, bro. So WrestleMania 37. I'm sure you'll be there. Super Bowl 2 weeks. I'm sure I'll be out. Maybe.
It's funny you say that because actually I was going to talk about WrestleMania coming to Tampa. It didn't make sense to me because you announced last year that you were going to LA. Now, both states are among the highest COVID-19 or coronavirus carriers in this country. Florida is setting records for deaths and confirmed cases every day. But you announce now you're moving it from LA. Oh, I forgot. LA won't let you hold it there. And Florida's allowing you to do everything you need to do. I asked a question a couple weeks ago. Hey, where is the WWE holding their events now? Because the Magic are back in action. I asked my partner. I said, are they sharing the arena with the Magic now? Or because the way the elaborate setup is for the WWE now, with all the monitors and the throngs and throngs of video screens to make it look like people are in attendance, it's not something you can just strike in overnight. And then I realized they're actually holding it in Tropicana Field with a race play. They have moved their operations from Orlando to Tampa. So
Same beat.
now WrestleMania is moving from LA, where you can't have it, to Tampa because the WWE, because Vince McMahon has Donald Trump in his Hall of Fame, and Donald Trump has his hand up Ron DeSantis's posterior, is able to do everything they want to do in the state of Florida. So they have free reign during this pandemic to hold events pretty much anywhere they want to. So Tampa Stadium is no different. Sadly enough, I won't try to even be there because this is just going to be a COVID spreader.
So it's like a super spready event. So you
Yep.
go and watch some good wrestling and spread a little COVID.
Spread a lot of COVID. Yeah. Yeah. Because you're going to drink and you're going to be high fiving people and hugging people. And, yeah, if the Super Bowl doesn't do enough damage, WrestleMania should finish the rest of them off. So we won't have to worry about much of the far right anymore because they will
Hey
be there.
man, I'm just saying. The more I look at this thing, it's like, man, what are we doing? We got to be the craziest group of people out. Hey, we got to figure it out, bro. One way or the other. This is getting ridiculous.
Watch the pod. Hashtag watch the pod. If you all caught our interview with Kenny Sabb, and he talked about how Australia went crazy when they got 3 cases in a day in the country, and you're talking about thousands a day here, and we have more deaths than they have cases. We're not doing the
Yeah.
right things. Shout out to Miss Anita Brown, Miss Samantha Clark, the rest of you all who joined us. We had pretty good viewership today. We thank you. Um, don't forget to comment. Let us know what you're thinking. We'll put it on there. We'll talk about it. But shout out to my mom, my pops, my wife, my daughter, the Red Belly, Matthew, and Fighter Share Nation, and and Mama Badger.
All right, we ain't got much time up against. We will see y'all tomorrow on our Less Refined show where I talk a little bit about I don't know whatever comes to mind, my attire. Friday Show Nation, we'll see y'all. Peace.